sports. Always proud to bring you the National Football League as we join you from Northwest Stadium, just outside Washington, D.C. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington Commanders. The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. As we take a peek at their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native and former Oregon Duck, Marcus Mariota.
Coming out of Oregon as the Heisman Trophy winner, we thought that this guy was headed towards superstardom, and while he didn't quite reach those heights, he did have some flashes along the way. And right now, his athleticism continues to keep him in the league. Still has a good arm, mobile, a great guy to have in the locker room. He can win if given an opportunity.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he lost the football. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to go down again. Dante Fowler providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here's Tressway now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taking it about the 16. An unbelievable punt there. We're talking 70-plus yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
The first carry now. This is Williams. He'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Prescott now from the 50. Incomplete.
Prescott's pass.
Well, that's not the way you want to start. First pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb.
Prescott's pass complete to C.D. Lamb. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Commanders' 33-yard line.
2nd down and 6 now. On the toss, here's Williams. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
That's another Cowboys first down. First and
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people down, and establish the run early.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. But now he appears to be in some pain. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Prescott. And his ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all
the kicker
loose.
on for the
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys.
Makes the score Cowboys 7.
That time a
nothing.
9-play drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he spins through. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. Mariota now. And this will be incomplete. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Mariota. And to find the open man, that's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The middle, Krosky Merritt. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Mariota. Oh, he'll rip that one back. Incomplete.
For Terry McLaurin.
He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Mariota. Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take over here up near the 40. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. And there was a good opportunity. Just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. And the ball is knocked out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Commanders' offense set to take over. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
On first down, it's Krusky-Merritt. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Mariota. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Operating from the gun, Johnson. And he gives himself up, but not before he gets the conversion. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
It's a gain
nice
of 7.
Work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
At the 25-yard line.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Now Mariota. complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second and goal from inside the 5. Now Mariota. And this one is going to be off the mark. Too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. In motion right, that's Burks. Third and goal. Mariota. It's out. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Now a 2nd and 6. Prescott now. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Prescott. Here's one deep for Pickens. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That is 3 plays.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area. And that one winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Jalen Lane deep for Washington. And he fields it cleanly. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
To throw is Mariota. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
It's a gain of 6.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. A shot downfield for Burks. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Again, it's Williams. And this is going to be a Cowboys 1st down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
5-yard gain.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
1st down, Dallas.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. He's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And now the ball's out. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust, because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Mariota now after the fumble recovery. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Intended for Jalen.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Mariota. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Touchdown, Burks. 38 yards. And the Commanders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because...
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Jake Moody now for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Jake Moody
so all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Here's Prescott. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. To throw is Prescott.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, Prescott. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Prescott yet again. He's across midfield. And finally down at the 36-yard line. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down.
That's good for a Cowboys first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. A pause here for an injured player, and this would be an important one. Von Miller in some discomfort on the field right now. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, Prescott stripped. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. And it's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll take a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. A toss right side. Here's Crosby Merritt. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd
well done to
and
sniff
10.
that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
To throw Mariota. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
They keep it with Davis on first down.
Number 43.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Down by Will
The
Harris.
ball got to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Brings
The
up
previous
2nd
carry
and
looked pretty
9.
good. That one,
At
he
the
was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the 31, here's a 2nd down and 9. Again, it's Davis. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. This now a 3rd and 4. From the gun, a give to Davis. And he will have a Cowboys first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
A gain of 12. First down, Cowboys.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now 2nd and 9. Now Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, my goodness. He was in his own zip code, but somehow could not look it in. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he couldn't get it to check out. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. And it's a short one here to the tight end.
Complete to number
just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away.
Brings up second,
and it'll be second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Out of the gun, they go with Krosky Merritt. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Third down and 7.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here comes third down at 7. Mariota to throw it. He's got his receiver, Lane. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That's good for a Washington first down. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Intended for Traylon
There's
Burks.
no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
A run inside, Krosky Merritt. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
The ball carrier.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing, Mariota. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And he gets it down to the 32.
Complete to Ryan Flournoy. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 4. Prescott stripped. And does Washington have it? They do. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first first time. I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season. Ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Mariota now. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Mariota slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense.
Their own 20-yard line.
And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Lamb will go in motion. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Throwing, Prescott. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Washington on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Prescott. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the draw, here's Blue. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
Prescott to throw it. Able to hit his target Lamb. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So roughing the passer, and they get the safety there.
And this is one I think where the safety's usually got to come a long way. So sometimes it's tough for him to slow down that momentum. That's going to draw the flag more times than not.
A run. Here's Lipke. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second and 6. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Armstrong with on the stop.
Brought down at the 23-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
First down. An 8-yard pickup. And a Cowboy first down.
And they'll go on the ground. A little juke. And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Sanders will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second and goal from the 1. Sanders again. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
It's a keeper with Prescott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
The kicker
now for the point after.
Point.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Cowboys 14.
So that drive, 12 plays
7.
in length. And it was all capped off by Dak Prescott, keeping it and taking it in on the touchdown run.
Brendan Aubrey to
so
kick
after
off
the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Washington offense back out there. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Mariota. That's to the left sideline and incomplete. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
What do you want?
On the toss, crossing Merritt. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now Mariota. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Ja'Cory.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well. So give some credit to the defense.
Here's Tressway now
for the Commanders.
as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
The Cowboys take over.
The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Prescott. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
13 yards on the play.
13 yards and a first down,
Cowboys.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They run with Sanders off the option. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially, it's a one-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Defense.
Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
Good sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
From the 25, here's second down and 3. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This offense so far on third down, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Luke Schoonmaker.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game.
41-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Take over first and
the Commanders preparing for their next possession. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Play action now. Mariota. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. In motion right, that's Burks. Here's Mariota. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On play action, Mariota. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Now we've got an injury stoppage, so they're going to halt everything, and all eyes focus on the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. Hopefully he's okay. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Again, he'll drop to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll get to him short of the 1st down at about the 16. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Back to throw again. And it's incomplete. They could not convert, and they turn it over. The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the 1st. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 1 yard and now no yards. Have them looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Prescott now. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. 35 yards.
That's good.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he stopped immediately there.
Williams, the ball carrier.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run it again with Williams. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Second and 7, operating from the 34. To throw is Prescott. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Well, penalties don't usually hurt as much as that one does. That is a monster gain wiped out by the flag.
And you and I both know that an offense only gets a couple of those big moments in a normal game. You've got to take advantage of them. When you give one away because of an avoidable penalty, that's a major disadvantage. Just steals away every bit of momentum you just generated with that play.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Cowboys, first down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Here's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late,
Automatic
CD,
first
and that's
down.
going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they pass.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Javonte Williams taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. The first carry for Jeremy McNichols. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Johnson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time we look and repeat that in Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
The ball carried by the wide receiver.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Miller. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
Off the play fake. Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Now Moody for the PAT. And this is no good. Boy, that didn't even get there. Not a good effort at all. And our score remains the same. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The
Cowboys offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Now a 2nd and 10. Play action now. Prescott. That is caught. It's spanned forward. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. 3rd down and 6. Now Prescott. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. And that's kind of how it's gone for him so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. But he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the run, it's McNichols. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They go play action here on 1st down. And that was too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, and felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Johnson. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Williams. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before he'll return.
On the play.
A big play here for Dallas.
First down.
63 yards.
It's a gain of 63 yards. First down, Cowboys.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big yardage.
A first down carry for Davis. They juked him. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Seven yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10. They're going to look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was out there waving his arm saying throw it here, dropped it. Not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Prescott stripped. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Complete to number 26.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
2nd and 9 now. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And that will be incomplete as well.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Tressway now
for Washington.
as he's on to punt for Washington.
The Cowboys take
Dallas
over
offense set for this next drive.
at their own 20-yard line.
And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Play fake. Here's Prescott. His throw incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw here. Screen play set up for Williams. Oh, good move. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they were setting up the screen, CD, a lot of free runners, and they got there late, and the penalty ensued.
Yeah, somehow it didn't get into their brains that it was a screen, right? Instead of pulling off and chasing the ball downfield, they kept going towards the quarterback and knocked him down way late. That draws the penalty flag each and every time.
And that was going to be off target and incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. But they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the fumble recovery, Johnson. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Thrown away.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Johnson had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down.
And 10 yards.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here's Johnson from the gun on third down. And that will be incomplete. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that third down pass. Brings up fourth down.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And out now come the Cowboys.
At their own 20-yard line.
Throwing, Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Prescott to throw it. Only able to gain a couple there. And now third down and 6 to go. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got it incomplete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 31 yards.
For a Cowboys first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second and 10. Prescott. And he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was it 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration, you'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Following the fumble recovery, Johnson. Now loose football, the ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Cowboys. Cowboys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Prescott now after the fumble recovery.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now.
And the Cowboys,
as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
At the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll look to throw. And that one will fall incomplete.
Intended for Ryan.
Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
He's just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now a timeout called for by the offense.
Makes it
as the clock will stop
4.
with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Third and 4. Prescott yet again. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Defense.
Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
Call it a gain of a yard,
out of bounds,
and that will bring up 2nd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. To the sideline and incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. It's 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain an 11-point spread.
Commanders 13.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before break. Johnson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter three. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
At their own 32-yard
and now we're going to get a
line.
stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Second down and 8. On play action, Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll go as a gain of 4.
Complete.
And that's going to bring up a third down.
A gain of 4 brings up third and 4.
Prescott now. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Personal foul.
Let's see who this is on.
Passer, defense.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, partner. There's no intent here
Automatic
because Von
first down.
Miller, former NFL Man of the Year award winner, he likes to play the game the right way. But in this case, makes a mistake and gets in just a little bit too late, and that draws the penalty.
To throw is Prescott. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
10 more yards.
And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
It's Davis on the counter. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. So the penalty there for a block in the back.
And that's one where you normally see a blocker put his hands up right away to say, no, I didn't do it. But this time, yes, you did.
Prescott off play action. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown. The scoop and score. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Now the Washington offense back onto the field. They'll go for 2 here.
The Commanders will line up for the two-point conversion.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And they will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point.
24. Commanders 21.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. Well, I guess the coach looked at the two-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a three-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a two-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Cowboys
hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
It'll be gained at just a yard, and it'll be second down.
At the 25-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Prescott. That's going to be caught by Pickens.
Prescott's pass.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Able to hit his target man. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Off the play fake, Prescott. Caught right side, Davis. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. A give running left. It's Sanders. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. Incomplete. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man.
Now Prescott. The throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So on 4th down, Prescott off and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal.
47-yard attempt.
It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Washington will take over.
Here we go on the next drive for Washington. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of...
Now let's hop this and run.
The quarterback on the keeper by Sam Williams.
Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now Johnson operating from the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play and move on.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Oh, able to avoid him. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake, Daniels. Here he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And this is going to be brought back for a final return touchdown by the Cowboys. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the two-point try.
The Cowboys will line up for the two-point conversion.
They'll try and run it with Davis. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Commanders
back onto the field now, the Commanders offense.
At their own 24-yard line.
They've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll go McNichols to start the drive. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
No gain on the play.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
At the 24-yard line.
No motion, motion.
Play action, now it's Daniels. And that is incomplete. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. He's got his receiver, Lane. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll look to throw here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Daniels. And that is incomplete. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Here's Tressway now.
On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. He's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Throwing, Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Daniels. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
For number 26.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a penalty flag on the field. It was a late decision to throw, and it might have been too late. Well, that one hurts. That wipes away what would have been a big play.
Well, you and I both know coaches aren't real big on silver linings, but at least that play call was a successful one. Now the focus offensively, that goes to overcoming the penalty and making all that yardage back again.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over.
20-yard line.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's a quick throw by Dak, complete out wide. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. Play action now, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Prescott. Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Cowboys 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
And this is something you don't see too much of. Fullbacks trying to stretch the field. But he does a nice job there getting lost out in space and comes up with a really nice game.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll come up now, 3rd and 3.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Daniels.
Got him there. It's Rodriguez. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now 2nd and 3.
Now it's McNichols. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
To the air goes Daniels.
He'll try to pick it up himself. He fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this. We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. From the 23, this is 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On the sneak, it's Prescott. And he will have a Cowboys first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And good work there in open space. So he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
More yards.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
A gain of 14.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Now Dak on the option left.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another 2nd down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays 2nd down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
Here's Prescott.
Left side, hauled in by Pickens. And the Cowboys are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now we'll pause for an injury here. That's George Pickens, the receiver who's in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
To throw is Prescott.
Now he's going to step up and run.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
The kicker
now for the point after.
Point.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points.
Makes the score Cowboys 42.
So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was all capped off by Dak Prescott, keeping it and taking it in on the touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Washington takes over.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw is Daniels. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Daniels looking to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Now Dallas gets set to take the field.
At their own 20-yard line.
They picked up right where they left off in half number 1. Just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that because so many times you go into the half after playing well and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
A pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Second and 9. Prescott down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. And there'll be a break in the action here because Prescott is going to use a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, Prescott straight. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here now, 2nd and 4. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Third down and 1. They run. Maffa. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll run. It's Sanders. 58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. This 2nd and 4. On the draw, here's Blue. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Prescott. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
It's now.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So on 4th down, Prescott off and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal.
50-yard attempt.
From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns.
Commanders 21.
And it's hard to hold a kick from this distance against him, but that is now 3 misses for him in the game so far.
3! And you wonder where his head's at right now. Kickers are a funny breed, but I have a feeling he'd love to see a 29-yarder next time to get him back in the groove.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. And they'll run the option to start the drive. Well, the determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. To throw now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bates. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Yards on the play.
13 yards there on a Washington first.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On the ground, this is McNichols. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. In motion right, that's Burks.
Operating from the gun, Daniels.
Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Daniels.
He'll try and do this himself.
And it's a fumble. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
That's another Washington.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Back to the ground on 1st down, Edmonds.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down.
A gain of 3.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Daniels. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels.
A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Extra point try now for Moody.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Right back to him on first down. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the ground, it's Maffa. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Milton. Able to hit his target Lamb. So the completion gets him just a yard. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Here's Milton now to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Well, another drive coming up for this Washington offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Well, they go play action. Daniels.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Daniels sacked.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Now he'll tuck this and run. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Things started a little slow for him as a runner, but he has really found a different gear here in this second half. He's been more aggressive, challenging the defense when he sees an opportunity, and now he has a 100-yard game to show for it.
A 3rd quarter action here on Christmas Day. Hope everyone's having a blessed holiday season. 2nd and 10 right now. Play action, now it's Daniels.
And his throw is incomplete.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now Daniels.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback. And they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line.
And
the Washington offense set to take over.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
There's a give to Rodriguez on the option. And taken down just shy of the 40.
Rodriguez, the ball
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole.
4 yards.
Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Line.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Here's Daniels. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And caught it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble. We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports.
It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4.
Here's Tressway now
for Washington.
As he's on to punt for Washington.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field.
20-yard line.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A carry now from Maffa. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. To throw is Milton.
And he's unable to hold it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up fourth. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Oh, and this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down. He's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on third down. Way. Nowhere to go. He lost the football.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Tressway now, standing right on his own 5-yard line.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's 3rd and 3. Here's Milton.
It's out. It's loose.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Daniels. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Taking it right down Broadway. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So the Cowboys now bringing the offense out there to go for 2.
The Cowboys will
try and run it with Davis. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Washington offense heading out. And the fumble recovery was an important first step, but still a huge fourth-quarter hole to dig out of. Down 3 scores.
Looking to put a drive together.
In motion right, that's Burks. Throwing now is Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
A quick throw there is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a handoff to Rodriguez. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
The tackle made.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now 3rd down and 7. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first.
It's fourth down.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
In motion right, that's Burks. On fourth down, here's Daniels. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. From the gun, it gives to Davis. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's 2nd and 7. An option handoff given to Sanders. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Offense.
So nice run there, but negated by the illegal block in the back.
Yeah, and on that type of a play as a receiver, you just want to kind of hold your guy up on the outside, do a little stalk blocking with him. But this time, got a little too aggressive, and out came the flag.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Throwing is Milton. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle to Davis. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 7. Again, it's Davis. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
At the 24-yard line.
I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Milton. And a loose football. And it looks like, yes, the Commanders have it. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Following the fumble recovery, Daniels. That's complete to his receiver, McCoy. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
A gain of 9.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a good point there as they were able to connect. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And that one to the right side and incomplete. Well, we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. That's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game,